You're all welcome to today's deep news analysis. If you're Nigerian, this topic touches the heart of the nation. Before we go deep, please take 1 second, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, so you don't miss important national updates like this. This channel is for calm, deep, and honest analysis.
No noise.
No lies. Today, we are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian government, and a powerful call for justice that is now drawing global attention. Let's go straight into it. Recently, a strong message came out. A message that Nigerians could not ignore. Kenyan President William Ruto has again openly called on the Nigerian government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and this time, the message has travelled far beyond diplomatic circles. It has entered public debate, legal discussions, and national conscience. This was not a casual remark. It was a carefully chosen public statement that touched the core of justice, democracy, and the rule of law. President Ruto did not speak with threats or pressure. He spoke with concern. His words were calm, direct, and heavy with meaning. He framed his appeal around justice, due process, and the long-term stability of nations. According to him, justice is not optional in a democracy. It is the foundation on which trust, peace, and unity are built. He warned that when justice is delayed or denied, confidence in the rule of law begins to fade. When that confidence fades, citizens start to question the fairness of the system meant to protect them. And when people lose trust in the law, the conscience of the nation is placed under serious strain. This statement matters because it did not come from an activist or opposition figure. It came from a sitting African president, speaking openly on a sensitive issue involving another sovereign nation. That alone has raised the weight of the discussion and expanded it beyond local politics. President Ruto also pointed to concerns around fairness and human rights. He emphasized that no matter how serious allegations may be, they must be handled openly, lawfully, and in line with constitutional principles. His position was clear: if allegations exist, they should be tested in the open space of the law. And if the law has already been satisfied, then justice must be allowed to take its full course, including release where appropriate. He further stressed that prolonged detention without broad public confidence in the legal process creates tension rather than peace. According to him, force and extended imprisonment may control situations temporarily, but they do not heal divisions. Dialogue, justice, and respect for legal norms are stronger tools for national unity. This message has sparked renewed reactions across Nigeria. Legal analysts, civil society voices, and ordinary citizens have returned to the core question: is the handling of the Nnamdi Kanu case strengthening Nigeria's democracy or testing it? The timing of the statement is also important. Nigeria is facing deep challenges, from security concerns to economic pressure and social division. In moments like this, every major legal and political decision sends a signal. It tells citizens what the state values and how power is exercised. By saying that releasing Nnamdi Kanu would send a powerful message of commitment to the rule of law and national reconciliation, President Ruto framed the issue as one of long-term national interest, not short-term control. His view suggests that justice, when seen to be fair and transparent, can calm tensions and rebuild trust. It is also worth noting that this is not the first time international voices have expressed concern about the case. However, the directness and clarity of this latest call have renewed focus. The phrase has again openly called reflects persistence, not passing interest. It suggests that the matter is not fading from international attention. For Nigeria, this moment is significant. External calls do not determine internal decisions, but they do reflect how a country's actions are perceived. In a global environment where governance, human rights, and rule of law are closely watched, such statements carry diplomatic and moral weight. This is why the statement has continued to dominate conversations. It is not framed as interference, but as an appeal to shared democratic values. It challenges Nigeria to demonstrate that its justice system is firm, fair, and confident enough to withstand scrutiny. At its core, this phase of the discussion is not about emotion or sentiment. It is about law, trust, and the image of justice. When a nation is confident in its legal processes, it does not fear questions. It answers them through transparency and adherence to principle. President Ruto's message has therefore reopened a serious national conversation. One that asks whether justice is being seen to be done, not just declared. And in a democracy, that distinction matters deeply. On 20th of November, the case took a decisive turn when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Federal High Court. The judgment was delivered by Justice James Omotosho, marking one of the most significant legal decisions in recent Nigerian history. The ruling immediately changed the legal status of the case and intensified national and international attention on the matter. Following the judgment, Nnamdi Kanu was transferred to Sokoto Prison, where he is currently serving the life sentence. This transfer itself became a subject of public discussion, as it signaled the full enforcement of the court's decision. From that moment, the case moved from a prolonged trial phase into a new and more serious legal stage, one defined by the weight of a life sentence and its implications. The sentencing sparked widespread reactions across the country. Legal experts, political observers, and civil rights advocates began closely examining the judgment, not only for its outcome but for the process that led to it. The focus shifted to whether the proceedings fully reflected constitutional safeguards, fair hearing standards, and established legal principles. Shortly after the sentencing, it became clear that the legal battle was not over. Nnamdi Kanu formally filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal, challenging the life sentence handed down by the trial court. This move placed the case back into active legal contest and reopened key questions surrounding the judgment. The appeal is understood to be based on several grounds, including concerns about due process, jurisdiction, and the interpretation of the law applied during the trial. While the full details of the appeal remain within the legal system, the filing itself confirms that the conviction is now under judicial review by a higher court. In Nigeria's legal structure, an appeal is not a political act. It is a constitutional right. By exercising this right, the case has entered a phase where the appellate court is expected to carefully review the lower court's decision, the conduct of the trial, and the legal reasoning that led to a life sentence. This development has kept the issue firmly in the public space. The life sentence, combined with the appeal, has deepened national debate about justice, fairness, and the balance between state authority and individual rights. Many Nigerians are not only reacting to the verdict but also observing how the appellate process will unfold. The role of the judiciary has therefore come under renewed focus. In a democratic system, courts are expected to act independently, guided strictly by law and evidence. The appeal process is designed to correct errors where they exist and to reinforce confidence in the legal system. As the appeal moves forward, attention has also turned to the broader implications of prolonged detention during legal review. Legal commentators have pointed out that cases of this nature test the resilience of constitutional protections, especially when they involve sensitive political and security issues. The Sokoto prison detention has become a central point in public discussions, not as a matter of sentiment, but as a legal and human rights issue. Questions are being asked about proportionality, fairness, and the broader impact of such detention on national cohesion. At the same time, government officials have maintained that the matter remains within the confines of the law and that the judicial process must be allowed to run its full course. This position emphasizes respect for court decisions and non-interference in ongoing legal proceedings. However, the appeal ensures that the final outcome has not yet been settled. Until the appellate court delivers its judgment, the case remains open, and the life sentence remains subject to legal scrutiny. This phase of the case highlights a critical moment for Nigeria's justice system. It presents an opportunity for the courts to demonstrate clarity, consistency, and commitment to constitutional principles. The way the appeal is handled will influence public trust and shape perceptions of judicial fairness. As events continue to unfold, the case stands as a major legal development rather than a closed chapter. The life sentence, the transfer to Sokoto Prison, and the ongoing appeal together form the current legal reality, one that continues to command national attention and raise important questions about law, rights, and justice in Nigeria. The focus has now shifted beyond the courtroom to the wider national impact of the case and what it represents for Nigeria at this point in time. With the life sentence in place and the appeal already filed, the situation has become a test not just of legal procedure, but of national judgment, restraint, and long-term thinking. Across the country, discussions have moved from the technical details of the trial to deeper questions about unity, stability, and trust in institutions. In a nation with diverse views and long-standing tensions, cases of this magnitude carry consequences that go far beyond the individuals involved. Every major legal decision sends a signal, and this one has been closely watched. Many analysts have pointed out that justice must not only be done but must be seen to be done. When large segments of the population feel uncertain about a process, even a lawful decision can create doubt. This is why transparency and clarity are essential, especially in cases linked to national security and political identity. The continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu while his appeal is pending has also become part of the national conversation. From a legal perspective, detention follows conviction, but from a broader civic perspective, prolonged incarceration during contested proceedings raises concerns about balance and proportionality. These concerns are being discussed calmly in legal forums, policy circles, and public commentary. Beyond Nigeria's borders, the case has also shaped how the country is viewed in relation to democratic values and human rights standards. International observers often assess nations not by the absence of conflict, but by how institutions manage disagreement and dissent within the framework of the law. In this context, the handling of the appeal and any subsequent decisions will speak volumes. Within Nigeria, there is also a growing emphasis on the role of dialogue as a tool for reducing tension. History has shown that unresolved grievances, when left to harden, can deepen division. Many voices have therefore argued that legal processes should be accompanied by open channels of engagement aimed at national healing. This does not mean undermining the authority of the courts. Rather, it reflects an understanding that law and peace-building can work together. Strong democracies often rely on both firm legal frameworks and inclusive political solutions to navigate sensitive challenges. The case has also renewed focus on constitutional principles. The Nigerian constitution places high value on fair hearing, due process, and the protection of fundamental rights. As the appeal progresses, these principles will be central to judicial review. How they are interpreted and applied will influence confidence in the system. Another key issue raised in public discussions is consistency. Citizens often judge justice systems not only by individual rulings but by whether similar cases are treated in similar ways. Perceived inconsistency can weaken trust, while clear standards strengthen it. This is why many Nigerians are paying close attention to how the appellate court approaches the matter. The political leadership of the country is also indirectly affected. While the judiciary operates independently, the overall climate of governance shapes public perception. Calls for calm, respect for the law, and national cohesion have therefore become more prominent in official and informal statements alike. As Nigeria continues to face economic pressure, security challenges, and social strain, decisions that affect national unity take on added weight. The Nnamdi Kanu case has become one of those moments where law, politics, and public sentiment intersect. Some commentators have noted that moments like this can either deepen division or open a path toward reconciliation. The outcome depends largely on how institutions act and how their actions are communicated to the public. Clear reasoning, lawful conduct, and measured tone can reduce tension even in difficult circumstances. The appeal process now stands as a critical stage. It offers an opportunity for the legal system to review itself, clarify contentious points, and reinforce constitutional values. Regardless of the final decision, the process itself will be closely examined. At this stage, the national question is not framed around victory or defeat, but around confidence. Confidence in the courts, confidence in governance, and confidence in Nigeria's commitment to justice. These forms of confidence are built slowly, through actions that demonstrate fairness and respect for the rule of law. As events continue, the case remains a reference point in broader conversations about democracy in Nigeria. It highlights the importance of legal integrity, institutional strength, and the careful handling of sensitive national issues. Ultimately, how this phase concludes will shape more than a single case. It will contribute to the ongoing story of how Nigeria defines justice, manages disagreement, and balances authority with accountability in a complex and evolving democratic landscape. In the coming weeks and months, attention will remain fixed on how institutions respond to this moment. The appeal process will move forward within the limits of the law, and every step taken will be measured against constitutional standards and public expectation. For many Nigerians, the focus is not on emotion, but on clarity, fairness, and institutional confidence. Legal observers continue to emphasize that the strength of a democracy is shown during difficult cases, not easy ones. When courts are faced with matters that carry political weight and public tension, the way decisions are reasoned and communicated becomes just as important as the outcome itself. Clear legal explanations help reduce speculation and rebuild trust. There is also increasing discussion around national stability. Nigeria is managing complex challenges, and unity remains a priority. In such a climate, issues that deepen division require careful handling. Many analysts believe that law, dialogue, and restraint must work together to prevent further strain on social cohesion. The role of leadership, both institutional and moral, has therefore come into focus. While the judiciary maintains independence, the broader governance environment influences how justice is perceived. Consistent respect for the rule of law, coupled with a willingness to address national concerns, strengthens democratic legitimacy. International attention has not faded. Statements from outside Nigeria continue to reflect interest in how the appeal is handled and what it signals about commitment to legal norms. This external attention does not decide outcomes, but it shapes global perception. As the situation develops, the case remains active, unresolved, and legally significant. It stands as a reminder that justice is a process, not a moment. How that process unfolds will continue to shape public confidence and inform wider conversations about democracy, rights, and the future direction of the nation.